Today we're talking about stage terminology. There are a lot of funny words we use, like green room. This room is not typically green at all. You'll find many different colors. But the term green room is part of our tradition. This is where dancers or whoever the performer is or performance group, this is where you get to kind of hang out and chill with friends who may be visiting the show, and it's kind of like the meeting ground. You have dressing rooms where you then would go to prepare and change and all that stuff and get ready for the show. That's where you would do your makeup and hair and get all prepped. You'll also find that that is an option backstage in the wings. Backstage would be the term we use for anything that is off of the staging area, and the wings would be those usually black curtains that hang off to the side of each side of the stage, which, if you ever have to do quick changes, is often an area that you are likely to run off to and accomplish a quick change with whomever is back there as your helper. We use the term house for our audience. This is the place that our audience sits. And the house has its own set of directions that can be confusing to dancers when they're first learning the terminology, because it's kind of backwards from our perspective. So house right is actually the dancer's left hand side. House left is the dancer's right hand side. So this viewpoint comes from whomever would be operating the technical aspect out in the house. Just like stage directionals are done by the performer's viewpoint up on stage. We have a whole array of lights, and that is like a whole separate other video to talk about what that all entails. But one of the big ones that I want dancers to be aware of would be the term follow spot. This is often the fixture of light that you see following you around on a stage. We forget as dancers that the lighting is super important, and we often forget that we need to stay within the realm of lights. So understanding where like the dark spots are in areas that you should not be going because they are not lit up, or if there's lighting cues because a stage may have moving lights, being able to, again, block and follow through at the timing cues that you are supposed to are important so you stay well lit. A follow spot has an operator traditionally operating that fixture, so they're able to move and manually follow you, unlike some of the moving lights that are cued to the music and they are expecting the performer to move at the same timing for that cue. It's all about planning out those logistics and the times. There are a whole variety of other terms that we use in the stage. These are just a few of the ones that I wanted dancers to kind of be aware of, and for our dance families who hear some of these weird words that we are using and are like, what? Oftentimes when we hear things like the word wings, we think of like bird wings, and it is definitely not that. And just like if we hear the term green room, the most common question I've heard everybody ask is, well, that room's not green. Why is that room not green? And this is just a traditional thing, kind of like calling cues backstage. Usually there's a places call. Tradition says you always say thank you places, or if you're giving a timestamp close, as we get closer to showtime, you'll hear like a 10-minute call, thank you 10. That's tradition. That everything that we do in entertainment comes down to tradition and respect. It's a respect between the performers and those who are doing the behind the scenes work, and all of the work that is involved. Another ism backstage, or before a show rather, is the fact that we never say good luck. This is like the world's worst thing that is ever said to anybody who works in shows. We often use another phrasing, and we tell each other to break a leg. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek equivalent, because it's bad luck to say good luck. And the traditionalist in me still cringes when people say that. Like, even though I know that they don't know any better, it is just a tradition thing. You never say good luck to a performer or anybody in the theater world. Ballet has a different term that is used to wish well to the performers, but that is a term that I will save for another day. So I don't really want to be the one encouraging our younger dancers to be using this term. So hopefully that kind of teaches you a little bit more about the terms that we use backstage, on stage, and some of our traditions. And I will see you tomorrow.